We have just finished up at home. We have took friends, family, we've took them hunting, we've taught them, we've showed them what we do in the outdoors, and now it's our time to go to the Midwest and play. I am super excited. I am headed to Indiana, and I'm going to hunt with Jeff and Tara Peel on their farm, and I absolutely cannot wait.
Jason Bowers has had some great success knocking down some giant Midwest Hoosier whitetails in the past. Oh, baby. He's seeking to add to that success with taking down buck number 3.
You know, I talk to a lot of hunters all across the country, and you talk about the top 4 or 5 states. Indiana is very rarely mentioned, but I have had a lot of success in Indiana, and obviously Jason and Jeff and Tara and Danny and everybody else. I'm telling you, you can't dismiss Indiana. It's a sleeper state.
Danny and I came in yesterday and hung this set. Ben and his boys were watching this field the night before last, and there were several big bucks right out here. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Indiana.
Big shooter buck sure enough shows up. I had my tradition striker fire ready, and this buck's fate was sealed.
Yes, he's down right there, 45 yards. I am one happy hunter in Indiana, and I will definitely be back.
It is the rut. I'm in Indiana. I'm with Jeff and Tara Peel at Tacticam. I'm at their farm. They were gracious enough to let me come hunt, and all I've heard is how great this farm is. So now it's time for me to see just how great it is.
Do you see him?
He's right on this side of this.
The left side?
Yeah, I can't see him in the camera.
No, he ain't no shooter. No. Dude, that's not the one I seen up there.
There's another guy.
Yeah, but that's not the one I seen.
Let me tell you a little bit about life on the road. I've been from Virginia to Iowa in one day, worked all day long, left there, went to Kansas, picked Danny up, and we stayed the night there, and then we drove 10 hours back here. And we're with Jeff and Tara Peel in Indiana. We got here late last night. We wanted to go to the laundromat, and guess what? I thought them dudes was open 24 hours. They're not. It was closed. So make sure this stuff is scent free. The only option we've got, we're staying in a little motel. Get the scent crusher on, make sure everything's scent free when we get over there. And hopefully we're gonna have some luck. There's nothing like the first morning going in. Nobody's hunted this farm all year long, so I am super pumped. Actually, super pumped is an understatement. You don't want to forget those. Brother's toes might get cold. This is our first morning. We're in ninja mode. We're slipping into this stand, and it didn't take me long to realize that Jeff has got the entry and exit to his stand figured out to a science.
The funniest thing about all this is it's Jason's turn to go to our Kansas lease, and the other day I texted Jeff Peel, and Jason, guess what, buddy? You just lost your spot.
Make sure you subscribe and like the page. On top of that, make sure you click the little notification bell. That way you'll be one of the first ones to know when a new video drops.
Jason is hunting at Jeff and Tara Peel's farm in Indiana, but he isn't the only one hunting this farm with his Tacticam. Jason's buddy Danny Calloway was hoping to knock down an Indiana buck of his own.
It's November the 5th.
with our good friends Jeff and Tara Peel. We are sitting on an amazing farm in Indiana. It's rich, almost sees deer and pinches them down. Beautiful, beautiful spot.
Danny encounters a 3.5-year-old after a short wait.
And what a beautiful 3.5-year-old. And he's got a really strict management program here. And that was a 3.5-year-old buck. And he was looking good.
For Danny to let a big deer like this caliber walk right under the tree and not let him have it blows my mind. I got to hand it to him, man. That was awful tough. Chris would have been in the tree. We know what would have happened. He'd have shot right over his back.
We've got Jeff, Tara, and Danny. Everybody's hunting. Everybody's got Tacticams rolling. And I guarantee you that there's going to be a lot of arrows flung in the next few days.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the farm, Tara Peel had her Tacticam on when this buck was cruising in front of her.
If anybody has any qualms about the Tacticam 4.0, in this situation, video speaks louder than words. Absolute amazing slam dunk hunts. I wish I would have had this 10 or 15 years ago. I would have loved to have had this stuff, shared my hunts, go back and watch them from year after year after year. If you don't have one, you better get you one.
Jeff Peel and Jason Bowers bring the Polaris up to help Tara recover her deer.
Look at the neck on that thing.
No, I don't know that one, but I can tell you this.
I smoked them though.
Laying right under you, what?
Yeah.
Literally.
A 3-year-old, 2 2-year-olds, a Forky, and then a Spike chasing this one doe. And they all eventually walked over here, and that 3-year-old was really getting mad. I mean, he was just like blowing the whole time at the deer, and he ran this one buck off. And then I saw it, and I was like, gosh, I cannot believe that he's coming right back, like they're gonna get in a fight. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute, and he was like all bristled up. And
So that 3-year-old probably hit the splits when he saw him coming. That is a great deer.
That's an awesome deer.
Look at that big old head on him. Wow.
I was pretty excited.
Heck yeah.
That's a beast.
Tara Peel has just shot a deer. Jeff's up next in the hot seat. There's no telling what's gonna happen.
Well, we just got set up in our second stand for this morning. Had a huge thicket back behind us. I know there's deer in here. We bumped a few coming in, which is never good, but there's so many bucks back in here, I think we're gonna be good. We got southeast wind blowing back the way we came from.
Almost every state is different. In each state, you have that small window of opportunity. That's the cruising stage. It's just before the rut, and it's a magical time. And these guys were hitting it perfect in Indiana.
Jeff didn't have to wait long. This stud shows up right after they got into the stand.
Where did he come from? I just heard something walking, but I couldn't see because of the sun. He just came strutting on in. Like he was grunting. He must have been a doe that came through here early. That's as quick as it gets. That was super fast. Hey, you know, the only bad thing is it's going to take us 10 times that long to get him out of here. Boy, I'll tell you what, that super freak put him down, didn't it? That deer didn't go 40 yards tops. No, you got to love that. That's the way you got to get her done right there. Just put it on him. Hey, give me something. It was worth the walk.
I'm sitting high up in an oak tree in Kansas, and I'm wishing I was sitting in one in Indiana. They are absolutely wearing these deer out.
I've known Jeff Peel for the last couple of years, and you know, it's one of those deals where that relationship immediately hit it off for him and I, because we both are on the same page when it comes to whitetails. We eat, we breathe, we sleep it. So you take Jeff Peel on a farm like Indiana, something's gonna die.
We watched him fall, so we're gonna buzz over there real quick and get a look at him.
He's a whole 40 yards.
Yeah.
What a cool deer.
Check out the character on him.
Split brows, nice heavy tin. Boy, that is a beautiful buck. Now I just wonder how the heck we're gonna get him out of here.
We drug Terry's out.
That's true.
Think she could drag yours?
That's a good call. Boy, isn't he pretty?
Yes, he is.
This week is the first few days of November. You've got a lot of does that haven't popped. You've got maybe a handful, and you'll get a 3 to 4 day window before the main rut hits and all the bucks and does go on lockdown. You'll hit a period when every single mature buck is up on his feet. They're day walking. That's what you wait for. It's here, it's now. Jason and Danny, my friends, are in for a show.
It's friend Danny Calloway's turn to hunt.
We're sitting back in here behind these fields, trying to catch those deer coming back to bed. Hopefully we'll catch some cruising. Man, what a beautiful 2-year-old deer. He hit that Cherokee rattlebag, and he came in on a string right to the base of the tree. Gorgeous 2-year-old. He's got a beautiful future ahead of him.
Everyone is seen and shooting big bucks in Indiana, except for Danny Calloway.
I've got a tag to burn. We just got in here. We haven't long been set up. A little overcast. I think it's gonna be a good evening. I don't see him.
Danny finally gets a buck to walk up and give him a chance. Unfortunately, he misses.
Dude, I don't know. I took my time. The only thing is, there's those branches right there, and I drew back, and I couldn't go no further, and I had to get past my thing. I had to squat down. Oh, dude, I'm sick, man. I don't deserve to be in the woods until I learn how to shoot again.
Go ahead, subscribe to our channel, like it. You're gonna get that little notification bell. It's gonna go off, let you know when something new hits. Follow, subscribe. Happy hunting this fall. We love everybody. Thank you again.
We saw Tara Peel kill an Indiana buck on her Tacticam. We saw Jeff Peel kill an Indiana buck. We saw Danny shoot and miss. But what you didn't know was that Jason was actually the first to see a buck on the very first day. Here's that story.
In each state, you have that small window of opportunity. You know, you've got to find those pinch points, those funnels. You've got to find where those big bucks are going to cruise through looking for does. Because if you can catch that window of opportunity, you sit all day and you're going to see big bucks.
We got out of the truck 60 yards back there at this fence. We wanted to hunt this set because if you look right here, you've got a perfect northwest wind blowing right back here to the fence. All these deer come right here. I've got a ditch right here that pinches them right through here on this side. It's a thicket, hardwoods. I mean, this is probably the best and most interesting spot that I've ever sat in my life.
Crazy. It's a rough world. Animals aren't as nice as people think they are. Probably 40 crows ganged up on one owl. Luckily, the owl's still sitting right here in the pine tree. They lost it when they got in here. Same thing with a hawk or an owl or anything. Crows will gang up on them.
I see him. I can't tell what he is. I think it's a 3-year-old. It's a 3-year-old 10.
What a morning. Danny and I have had deer all around us running like crazy, bucks chasing does.
I hear another one grunt. He's right there behind that one.
And I hear a deep grunt on the ridge just across the ditch.
Dude, he's a stud. That's not the deer I saw.
And it didn't take me long to figure out that that was a shooter. If I can get him to my tree, I'm gonna take a shot.
I love calling the deer. There's a magic window every year when bucks become extremely vocal, and every buck has his own personality. Some bucks, when you call to them, if they're a little bit more passive, they will take off and leave. But this buck that Jason's got in front of him, is a super aggressive 4-year-old, and he's about to run over the tree.
Be sure to like and subscribe, and if you click the notification bell, you'll be one of the first to know when we drop a video.
Jason Bowers is hunting with his expedition bow in Indiana. He spotted a 4-year-old Indiana 8-pointer up over the ridge and is waiting for him to come in so he can take a shot.
Once I realized that this deer was a shooter, I grabbed my Cherokee bone call, hit it one time, and he came in like a string.
He's full, Rainy.
You give me a 4, 5, or 6-year-old whitetail the first week in November that's super aggressive, got that personality that's gonna tear down the woods, and I call to him, I'm gonna show you a dead buck.
He walked to 8 yards at the base of my tree.
Let me tell you about good friends. Danny to Jeff and Tara. He lets us come on every year. He drove to Virginia. We drove straight back 8 hours to Indiana just to sit behind the camera for me. Hey man, thank you. I appreciate it. And let me tell you what else. Jeff and Tara Peel from Tacticam, they opened up their farm to me and said, come hunt. We'd love to have you here. And I just torched a giant, son. All up in the base of the tree. Woo!
Say it's gonna be a long track job, but it's not. He's laying right over there. I have said it once and I will say it again. I love shooting big cutting broadheads and hard shooting bows. That dead ringer flat opened him up, and we've added another tool to the arsenal this year, and it is these Victory VAP arrows. They are by far amazing. Indiana has been sweet, sweet, sweet to me. The 4th time I've hunted Indiana, and this is the 3rd buck that I've shot. 2 with the bow, 1 with the muzzleloader. Look at the blood, dude. But this is by far the biggest one in Indiana. It's a good sight when you can actually see antlers sticking up over the undergrowth. He didn't run 50 yards. God, what a body. Look at the rack, son. Let me tell you about Indiana, son. God, don't you look at that deer. Holy crap. Tell me that ain't some cool stuff. Look at those split twos, an extra point right here. God, mass. I texted Jeff after I shot him and told him. Jeff called me immediately, wanted to know what I shot, and I told him, I said, he's a big mainframe 8 with split twos. And he said he knew the deer, said they seen him last year. Last year was the first year he ever showed up on this farm. And I know I've said it, and I can't say it enough. Thanks to Danny for filming me coming all the way from Maryland, and Jeff and Tara for opening up their farm and letting me actually hunt it. I mean, it's a breathtaking experience to be able to do this and do what you love. This has been one of the most memorable hunts of my life. I mean, it's been so action-packed. I killed a deer. Tara killed a great deer. I mean, amazing footage at the base of her tree with her Tacticam. I filmed Jeff shoot a deer, probably being one of the best hunts that I've ever been on for seeing mature deer and seeing rutting activity. Dude, just split twos in the mass. Like when I seen him, I was like, oh crap.
Wow, I didn't think he was that big though. That is cool. That is a cool deer. Yeah, he's cool. That was a rough hunt, wasn't it?
It's horrible.
Spent such a long hour in the tree. We hunted all hour. Hey, that's how it's supposed to be. Out comes the fun part, right?
Dragging him out. Well, we was getting ready. I was getting ready to drag him out when y'all pulled up.
Yeah. He's definitely a good 4-year-old. That's a heck of a deer. That is a heck of a deer.
I can't say it enough. Huge thanks to Jeff and Tara Peel of Tacticam for letting me come hunt on their farm. It was an amazing time, an amazing trip, an amazing hunt, great time with friends, and you know what? I'll see you next year.